Noah Tucker in the house. So you are the founder and CEO of Social Snowball.io. And that's really cool because, I feel that there's using Shopify, if you're a dropshipper, e-commerce entrepreneur, you're going to have to know a lot of these widgets, plugins to really optimize and make your business a lot more efficient to get more sales and whatnot. And it's really cool what you're doing with Social Snowball. So it's kind of like an automated affiliate marketing for Shopify, and you kind of have your customers turn it into affiliates, which is a really good way of even generating more revenue and whatnot. But before we talk about how you kind of created that, how it works, kind of give us your origin story, because before that, you were actually a dropshipper yourself, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like 5.5, or I guess like, yeah, 5.25 years ago, roughly, is when I first got into e-commerce, and I was working on a fishing boat at the time, just like trying to make money, working all these crazy jobs, when someone introduced e-commerce to me. And I was like, oh, this is the coolest thing ever. And my buddy, he was doing it and making like $200 a day, just like on a drop shipping store using Oberlo, selling like women's clothing. And I was like, oh, if I could do this, I'll be able to quit my job on the fishing boat. And if I can make $200 a day, like I'll like definitely be able to quit my job on the fishing boat. So he showed me how to set up a store, like really simple stuff, Oberlo, AliExpress, like just the very, very basic drop shipping model that doesn't really work anymore, I guess you could say. But this was like 5 years ago. And I built that store. I was using Instagram to get sales. So I would literally just like message people to be ambassadors, and I'd follow and unfollow people that followed similar pages and stuff like that with my own thumbs too. I didn't even know about bots or anything like that. Did that for a few months. Then I got to University of Miami my freshman year, and I met another kid who was also drop shipping, and he taught me about this Twitter advertising method. And I made a new store and I tried the Twitter method, and that like popped off really well. And it did like 30 grand in a month. And that was like the first real money I ever made. And since then I was just addicted. And yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot more to talk about with e-commerce, but that's like how I got started with it.
Wait, so you said for Twitter shoutouts, you like hit up, is it like influencer marketing? Where you just,
Kinda, but the
yeah,
way
with brands?
it's a little different. The way it worked was like there are these people that owned like these big networks of Twitter pages. So like one person would own like 30 pages or whatever, and you would pay based off of how many impressions you wanted your tweets to get. So I would make a tweet like that was an ad for my product essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would buy like, let's say 1 million impressions. That would be like $250 or something like that. So he would like the owner of all these accounts would continue to like retweet the tweet that I made until it on different pages until it reached 1 million impressions for that day. And then I would pay for however many impressions it received.
Yeah, it's dope. So I feel like I never really heard about that. Usually you hear people using Facebook ads and whatnot, maybe YouTube ads for their brand. But in your case, whatever, like what you were selling, I guess Twitter was the best platform for that because, like you said, or if you create a brand and you're selling a certain product, then influencer marketing might be the best bet for you instead of, Facebook ads.
I mean, truthfully, like Facebook ads would have definitely worked for this. I just didn't know about Facebook ads at the time. This is
Okay.
before Facebook ads were introduced to me. And the only other way I knew how to get traffic to a store was by DMing people on Instagram to be an ambassador for it. So this was a huge step up from DMing people and following and unfollowing people. So Facebook ads would have definitely worked. And I learned Facebook ads a few months later and I tried it and it worked. But this was like kind of just introduced to me at that time. And it was like a great transition marketing strategy for me.
Yeah. So you said you made 30 grand in that 1 month. Now, the following month, did you make the same amount of revenue? Because, with drop shipping,
No.
you hear that with drop shipping, it's really hard to really keep up with the trend because you might make 1 or 2, even 3 months worth of a lot of money. And then after that, you had to create another store and repeat the cycle
Yeah.
all over again. So was that the case for you or what?
Yeah. I mean, so yeah, definitely. So with that store, it did like, yeah, something like 30 grand that month, maybe 10 grand
Sheesh.
profit. And afterwards, like the next month, the Twitter ads just stopped working. They just stopped converting. And I wasn't changing anything up. I was literally just running the same exact ad every single day to the exact same audience. So obviously it was going to die out eventually. Like I was not doing anything to build any sort of longevity with the store. So yeah, it
Yeah.
worked for about a month, and then pretty much right around the 30-day mark, it started to stop working, and eventually I just had to stop running ads because it was no longer profitable.
hmm So it's kind of cool that you have a background in dropshipping because I think there's some people who create other apps and they don't have any sort of knowledge in the industry and they're kind of just dive head in, but you have knowledge in it because you did your own dropshipping business and you created your own plugin too. But after your store, did you create yet another one or did you go straight into the plugin?
Oh no, I kept building stores for the next like
Yeah.
4 years. Yeah. that was just the very, very beginning of the journey. Like there was a lot more trial and error building stores. I even would like order, I wouldn't even drop ship. Sometimes I would like order products to this warehouse we had in Utah and we would ship them out of there. There was a lot more to my e-commerce journey before I started building Social Snowball. But one thing that was consistent with this entire e-commerce journey is that I would always use affiliates and ambassadors as a traffic source. And I always saw the value in that, which is kind of what led to me building Social Snowball, because I realized that like people love to be affiliates and ambassadors. Everyone loves to have a discount code with their name in it for a brand that they're shopping for. It's like clout. It's like a part of a community. So, if someone has a discount code for this brand that they think is a cool brand, they're going to put that in their bio. They're going to share it a lot. It like makes them feel cool. So I always saw the value in word of mouth marketing, affiliate marketing, ambassadors and stuff like that. And I kind of played around with a lot of the softwares that were out there and realized that there is a lot that there is room to improve a lot.
Yeah. So was it really a manual process where you would DM maybe your customers, like, when someone buys something off your store, you had their email, maybe their Instagram and whatnot, you DM them like, you know what, I see you like the product. How would you like to be an ambassador, be an affiliate, earn a commission? So that was a very manual process in the beginning, or did you kind of use other tools that were okay?
Yeah, I mean, in the beginning, like with that first store that I was building, it was very manual. It was literally me spending all day just like DMing people. We'd love for you to be an ambassador. And then I would post like stories on Instagram saying like we're hiring ambassadors. And then I'd reply to all the DMs, like giving people discount codes. So it was very manual at first, because I didn't know of any of these plugins. Down the road, I started playing around with some of them. I really didn't love any of them. Like there's none that I sticked with. Like I built other automations to do things easier. Cause like at first I was literally messaging people by hand. I like ended up using like Zapier and a few other tools to like build my own automations, but I never fell in love with any of the current affiliate marketing softwares for Shopify.
Yeah. And I think that's really cool that you build up a lot of social proof. And like we said before, in some job shipping businesses, and it won't be sustainable for X amount of months. But if you have a lot of social proof with brand ambassadors, then it can really differentiate your product or your brand to all the other drop shippers selling that same product.
Definitely. I mean, people love buying from when their friends recommend something. Like that's always going to be the
Yeah.
most valuable marketing source, like word of mouth marketing. So the whole point of Social Snowball is to like automate word of mouth marketing to supercharge
Yeah.
it.
Now, what was it exactly that you didn't like from the other tools? Like maybe it was first a manual process. You looked at other plugins on Shopify, and maybe
Yeah.
they weren't to your criteria. Like what was missing to be exact?
Well, one, they were just very overcomplicated. A lot of the affiliate marketing softwares that are on the Shopify App Store weren't built specifically for Shopify or even e-commerce. So like a lot of these tools were built just for like the older style of affiliate marketing where people have like these big like either newsletters or like blog, websites with a ton of traffic, and then people will advertise different products on there with their links and stuff like that. Like that's like, the older style of affiliate marketing, which is still, a very real thing today, but it wasn't, that's not necessarily like Shopify or e-commerce affiliate marketing. That's more tailored to the publishers that are creating content and want to make money creating content. They don't have their own product. So they sign up for an affiliate marketing company. They get like links to promote products relevant to their niche and they add it to their website. That's like how a lot of these affiliate marketing softwares began. And then as Shopify gained its popularity and e-commerce became huge, dropshipping became easy, they kind of started to tailor to that new audience, but the old outdated parts of their software were still present, and it was just overcomplicated. So if you like install an app like Reversion, you'll notice that there's like all these complicated tools that you don't even need that are just like confusing you. Getting started is just like a nightmare. The software looks super outdated, and I was just like, this is just not the right tool for Shopify. Like this is not, even though this can accomplish what I wanted to accomplish, it was just wildly outdated and wildly overcomplicated. It was wildly expensive. There's a huge barrier to entry. And I was like, nobody's gonna like, no one's gonna want to use this. And obviously people do because there weren't many better solutions. And I was like, there's definitely room to build something that's way more tailored to the current age of Shopify.
Yeah, I think if you can make things a lot more user friendly, people will just hop on and start using it, because I think it'll be even if you have a really good tool, and if it's way too complicated, that might scare off people from actually using it. But a quick question here. So when you were manually looking for, affiliates, brand ambassadors, like I know it's important to like give them a discount code, and then of course word of mouth would acquire more customers. But did you have an aspect where you actually get their user generated content and then use that content to promote your actual brand itself as well?
I didn't at the time. I didn't. I mean, UGC is like the greatest piece of content you could have as a brand. It's ridiculously valuable. It converts incredibly high as an ad. And it's just great to have its social proof at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But no, at the time I was not.
Okay. Yeah. I was gonna say if you had both of those fronts, then that'd be like
Deadly.
the cherry on top. Yeah.
Exactly.
So yeah. So you had your own drop shipping store. You've been doing that for years. You created many stores, and then you realized that okay, you've been doing sort of affiliate, brand ambassador sort of stuff for your brands, and you saw that in the market there wasn't something that you like. And so did you have a computer science background, software engineering background to create this? Because there's one thing to work in drop shipping and then want to create a plugin, because you can hire someone, outsource it, maybe use the profits from your stores to create this actual plugin. Or did you kind of learn code on your own and start building it from scratch?
So I have no technical background at all. I don't know any coding at all. I just kind of had the vision, and like you explained, like e-commerce, although it did teach me a lot about business and I got to network with a lot of great people and all that stuff, I never learned like technical skills of any kind, because the whole beauty of Shopify is you don't need technical skills. I mean, pretty much any website platform at this point, you don't need any technical skills to build a beautiful website. So no, I had no technical background. So what I started by doing is so I wanted to use, like, I didn't want to have to like raise money or anything. I wanted to just use like profits from e-commerce to be able to build this. So I wanted to do it somewhat affordably. So I started by working with an agency that gave me like a done for you package that was like, okay, you pay this price, we'll build the software, all of its functionality, we'll build the website, all the UI UX, like we'll handle everything. And so I started with them, and they told me it would take about 3 months, 4 months to build. And it ended up taking like 15 for them to build everything, because it was just way more complicated than they thought. And yeah, I couldn't even tell you why, because I was hands off with it. They were building it, and it was a bunch of overseas devs. And again, I wanted to do it affordably. So I didn't go with like the most high end agency out there. Like I wanted to be able to afford this myself. So they gave me like a minimum viable product 15 months later. And it was a lot of back and forth. Like I had to help with a lot of stuff, and it was fine. Like it was a learning experience at the end of the day. I obviously wish it came out faster, but everything happens for a reason. After the 15 months, it still wasn't ready to be submitted to the Shopify App Store, because like Shopify is strict with what they allow on the App Store. They're not going to just allow anything that, it's their clients. They want to protect them, the Shopify stores. So they have like an approval process, and I knew it wasn't going to get approved as is. So I hired, and I also didn't want to launch it as is because it just was buggy. It wasn't good. So I hired this like super senior developer from Upwork that like used to work at Yahoo as a senior dev, and he was just like a really knowledgeable guy. I got really lucky finding him, honestly. He came on board and he just glued everything together, fixed all the bugs, fixed future bugs that I didn't even know existed because we didn't have enough users for them to like start glitching or whatever you call it yet. And so he just came in, glued everything together. We submitted to the Shopify App Store, and then within a week we got approved. So then he stayed on for a while, and then I just kept on hiring other people from Upwork and kind of building an internal team using contractors.
Damn, I feel like you can have like another podcast just talking about the logistics of building the plugin, because so many bugs, and how to like outsource it, how to hire someone. And of course, people might think, okay, if I pay someone a fixed rate for this whole plugin, this whole application, then it can be very, very expensive, because you're supposed to get it in 3 months, ended up being 15 months, and that could have costed you a lot more, and then your project could have been done right there. But did you have to give like some sort of equity to the developer, or did
No,
you
I
have
just
to like
paid.
boost?
I just paid.
Okay.
Yeah.
So at the same time, you're still working on your dropshipping businesses.
100%. I only stopped working on e-commerce once we launched, because I was never really passionate about any of the products I was selling. I was just kind of doing it to make money. And once I had something I was passionate about, which is this software, I was like, okay, like I'm going to really go all into this. I'm going to make this be my full-time job, and I'm going to stop selling e-commerce products. So like now this is really all I work on.
Okay. So you definitely spent money on developing the plugin, right? Social Snowball, hiring the freelancer or the guy that worked at Yahoo, right?
Yeah.
And there's one thing to have a nice product, a nice service, but then you got to put it on Shopify, and then you need to actually market it itself. So how did you market your plugin?
I mean, I definitely had an advantage over anyone else, or over a lot of people launching a software, because I already had somewhat of an audience in the e-commerce space. And Luca Netz, I'm not sure if you know him, but he bought in as a partner down the road. So when we launched together, like he promoted it to his audience as well. And then I'm also friends with everyone in pretty much that's like an influencer in the dropshipping space. So I had them promoted as well and paid some of them or gave them affiliate links so they could make a percentage off of the sales they generated. So my positioning with it, like I wasn't just like, launching cold ads to cold traffic and nobody's ever heard of it before. Like just from me and my network, my audience, my network's audience, like I was able to kind of build a little bit of a brand around Social Snowball already. And then once, we started to gain some traction is when I started running like Facebook ads, and the Facebook ads, they started to kind of slow, but now they're doing really well. And then, we're testing around Google and YouTube as well. We haven't really cracked it with those yet, but
Yeah.
I kind of had like a nice kickstart with my audience and my friends' audiences. And then the great thing is like we got a lot of really good feedback from that. So we've been building out new features, changing things that customers wanted. We really got to kind of change the software around into what people really wanted. And now there's a lot more we're working on building. We're going to, make this even bigger than we thought we were because the feedback we've been getting is so incredible. And yeah, like I mean, the growth has been really, really good. That's definitely something I'm really grateful for.
Yeah, it's dope because you leverage your own network instead of having to like leverage or use a lot of ads to find people to use your service. So let's
Right.
kind of break it down. Like actually, first and foremost, I think this tool is very important because the more nets you have in terms of capturing attention, capturing customers is very important because with every drop shipper, I think Facebook ads is the bread and butter to acquiring a customer via like a impulse purchase, right? However, down the line, as you scale, you can focus on Pinterest ads, Snapchat ads, influencer marketing. But I think that the more nets you have, including affiliate marketing with Social Snowball and brand ambassadors, the better you have. The more revenue streams, the more ways you have of making money, which is the ultimate goal of a business, right? But how does it work? So, like with step one, once you install the plugin into your shop.
Yeah, I mean, so it's, just like any Shopify app, you can install with just a couple clicks. It's really easy to set up. One thing we definitely pride ourselves in is having the interface as very simple and minimalistic as possible. There's nothing extra. It does exactly what you want it to do. And if there's, little things you want to change or turn off, you can do those, but there's nothing else. There's just like exactly the functionality that you would need. So yeah, you install it to your Shopify store, a couple clicks, you set your preferences, literally a couple clicks, and then you go live. So, our biggest feature that everyone's loving right now, and there's a lot more that we're building, but the biggest one right now, kind of what we're known for, is the automated affiliate acquisition. So whenever you get a customer, they're automatically created an affiliate account. They're automatically generated a discount code with their first name in it and it's given to them right on the thank you page after they make a purchase, and a beautiful, appealing offer that a lot of them end up taking. And a lot of them end up sharing it. The worst thing that could happen from them sharing it is they generate content for you, put it out on the internet, on social media, and it doesn't get you any sales, which is still valuable to brand awareness. And the best thing that could happen, and what very often does happen, is they actually do generate sales for you. And those are sales that you're acquiring without having to spend ad dollars on, whether it's, what you were saying before, Facebook, Snapchat, or Pinterest. You're spending money to acquire customers with affiliate marketing. They're just going out and getting customers for you, not spending money to get it. And then you obviously pay them a commission for the sales, but you're only paying the commission if they get a sale. With Facebook, you're spending for people to see the ad. If they buy or not, oh well. But with affiliate marketing, you're only spending money if they get the sale. So it's like risk-free. There's no reason not to maximize it. And I realized none of the other softwares were maximizing it. So that's kind of the problem we look to solve with Social Snowball.
Yeah. So you're kind of creating a win-win-win scenario where you're getting a new customer. The person that purchases your product, gets to earn commissions, and then they have a discount code for anyone else who wants to buy the product. So you got a trifecta right there.
Exactly.
Now, so if I put it on a store or my store, whatever it is, someone buys a product and then they get an email saying, like, hey, look, here's a discount code. You can be an affiliate and you get a commission for every time you make a sale.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's on the thank you page, like on Shopify's thank you page. Like, right after you purchase, it's right there. They also get emailed it, yes. Like, and they get emailed reminders. You could customize those emails. You could integrate with Klaviyo. You could turn emails on and off. But yeah, I mean, it's the first time they see it is on the thank you page, but then they also get emailed it.
Okay. And do you have not a criteria, but some sort of instruction onto how to really perfect or utilize that discount code properly?
Yes.
Because I know you can put it on your Instagram handle or like in your bio, but is it better to have like a story or film the product, film yourself and whatnot? Like, do you have like some sort of tips that you tell any affiliate marketer?
That's definitely something we plan on building more of, but as of now we do. Yeah, we have like kind of like a like we do a little bit now, and we plan on
Mhm.
building a lot more of that and really like holding the hands of these affiliates and helping them generate sales. For now, what we have is like, so we have like a post-purchase email sequence that we send to the affiliates, and you could customize these or turn them on and off. But if you keep it on, like it's emails that will just like remind them to use the code, give them suggestions on how to share their code. And then we also send them links to blog articles that we wrote on how to be a productive affiliate, how to make money with affiliate marketing, and how simple it could be for them, because it's really so easy. Like all they have to do is post about it and, send it to their friends and family and be like, hey, I'm, trying to make money with affiliate marketing. This is a brand I really like. I actually already bought from it, which is why the discount code was generated in the first place. If you buy with it, like you'd be supporting me, whatever. There's a lot of ways to angle it. So yeah, we do provide them with content right now. We definitely want to build out a huge knowledge base down the road for affiliates that's going to provide them with more content like that.
Yeah. Now, is there any way, I don't know if you want to share this, but do you have some sort of on the back end, like some analysis on your data as to how much more revenue these stores are generating
Yes.
through your app?
Yes.
Damn. So on average, like I don't know how many. Actually, first and foremost, how many stores are using your plugin?
It's a little over 750.
750. And what year was it launched?
It was launched like 5 months ago.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
recent then.
Very recent. Yeah.
750. And on average, I mean, I know it would vary between store to store, but on average, how much more revenue in terms of like percentage wise would one gain? So for example, I think, don't quote me on this, but for email marketing, people say it's underrated, but it's super important in terms of generating sales. Some entrepreneurs, they say they get actually 30% to 40% of their total revenue from email marketing.
Yeah.
So with people that you've worked with, that in your network, how much revenue are they generating with your plugin?
It's usually like 5 to 10%
And that's still
of
really
top
healthy.
line. Yeah.
And I think that goes to show, like, if you create a good brand, like drop shipping, like you said, go AliExpress, and you don't really create a brand around it. You're just moving one product from one location to the other. But if you create a compelling brand, something where the brand experience is really dope, something that's very shareable, then I think that this will be much better in the long run,
Absolutely.
So on the thank you page, you get a note. Same thing with an email, and then I guess that person who buys the product can kind of be like an entrepreneur as well, because they can start making money through.
Yeah, they can make a lot. They can make a lot. We have some like that do, like for some of our clients, they have what we call superstar affiliates, which is just a phrase we made up. But just some people, I don't know if they have big audiences already or if they just really want to make money, but they promote it like crazy and they get a ton of sales and they make a lot of money doing it. So it's like a huge win for everybody.
Do you know what Morning Brew, like the morning newsletter?
Yeah. Yeah.
So do you know how if you share it 5 times and someone actually downloads it, you get like a little prize. And if you do it 100 times, then you go out to their headquarters and whatnot and you get more incentives. So like, do you kind of have that where if someone makes X amount of sales, then they could become a super brand ambassador for
yeah. So we're building that actually. So we're building it so the merchant can create different tiered levels of their affiliate platform. And then they could set criteria for each tier. So it could be like 5 referral purchases, 10 referral purchases. You can make as many tiers as you want. It could be, 3 tiers, bronze, silver, and gold, like whatever you want. You could call them things. And then prizes or incentives on those tiers. So get to 5 sales and we'll send you a free shirt with our brand on it, or get to 10 sales and we'll, whatever you want. So give you a gift card or something. So yeah, that's something that we haven't built out yet, but that's
it's in the works. Yeah, it's dope, because I feel like if you add like gamification to it, then people wanna do that. And you see that with like with the spin wheel, like when you go on someone's shop, like people want to play games and be incentivized to do things, So I think that'll be a really good way, once you integrate that, to generate even more sales for everyone using the Social Snowball.
Agreed.
That's really dope. So when you think about these ideas, I know you can have like a wish list of things that you want to do, but since this is a software, and like, of course you can think about it, but there's one thing to think about it and then one thing to apply it.
Yeah.
So how long does it take to make these changes? Because it's, like you said, it was going to take you 3 months to create Social Snowball, but ended up taking you 15 months.
Yeah. I mean, we build things fast now because I have my own team. It's they've been working. A lot of them have been working with me for, months now. They're faster. We have a workflow. Like that was just kind of throwing all my luck to this agency and hoping they did well. Now I'm like in control of things. We have, morning calls where we go over what we're building that day. Like we have a ticket organization system. So, the team that's involved now. They're like all, fluent English speakers that know the goal. They see the vision. They know what we're building. They're motivated to build it. They're excited. They like being part of Social Snowball. They're excited by the growth. It's a very startup culture environment. They see that we just launched and that we have over 750 users, and they're like, this is crazy. Like, that's not normal. Like, we're already generating a lot of revenue. We just started. Like, people are talking about it. Our SEO is really good. Our reviews are insanely good. People are really liking the software. So our team is really motivated now, and it's a really good team now. They're, it's not just these overseas developers that built the first MVP of the product. Is very different now. So we're pretty quick with building things out.
Yeah. Now, do any of your customers experience, problems in regards to, like they can see maybe directly as to this sort of affiliate is generating this many sales for us. But then since you have a discount code out on the internet, I think there's a lot of tools out there that can really gravitate or steal those discount codes, put it somewhere else, and then someone can find that discount code, apply it to your store. And you would think, okay, maybe I got this discount code from an affiliate, but in reality, I found it in the middle in the haystack of the internet.
So
you know what I mean?
there's a tool that we integrate with, and it's provided by Live Recover. It's called Coupon Scout. And it basically, if you sign up for it, which we have like in our documentation, how to sign up and create an account, it's free. It'll like integrate with your store, and it'll scout the internet looking for any of your discount codes that leaked on any of those coupon sites that you were talking about. And as soon as one does leak, it'll notify you, and then you have the option to either delete that discount code or remove the affiliate from Social Snowball. So although that does happen sometimes, and we have some merchants that are okay with that happening. We have some merchants that are like, I don't think that person would have bought without that discount code. I'd rather them get the discount code. It's everyone's brand is different, and it's up to the store owner to decide. It's their business. So if they're cool with it leaking on those sites, like some are, then they don't care. And then the other ones, they could sign up for Coupon Scout and they don't have to worry about it.
Now that does make perfect sense, but I just believe that it's not just the revenue, but in terms of where you're getting your revenue from, so you can really focus on your efforts to, I guess, doubling down on that revenue stream. Because if you don't know if your marketing dollars are working for email marketing, influencer marketing, or Social Snowball, then that can be a problem, even though money is coming in. But it's cool that you mentioned that. That's really important, I think. So what was like the biggest hurdle, like the biggest problem that you had creating all this?
I mean, there's been a lot. I don't know if one is like really big. I would say just like the whole building it. I have no, like my only business experience was e-commerce and dropshipping, which is really easy. That's like entry level, the easiest as it gets. And so I feel like just learning how software works, how much more complicated it is than I thought it was. Like I mean, it was a 15-month process of trying to get this thing launched. After month 4, I was like, it should be any day now. Like, it felt like, oh, we're right around the corner, because I could log in, I could create an account, like this, I could see the software, but there was so much more that had to be built, so much that it took an additional on top of that, like year after I thought it was going to be done. So, there was hurdle after hurdle after hurdle. We thought we were about, we always thought we were right at the finish line, and there turned out to be more and more and more. We weren't going to launch an incomplete product, or a product that didn't work, or a product that had bugs. So I don't know if I could put my finger on one hurdle in particular, but I would say just that entire, year after that 3-month mark, when I felt like we were right at the finish line, and there just kept being more and more problems, and I had to like come up with solutions to them. And the agency was getting mad because there was so much more than what we thought in the original scope of work we had to build. That was just kind of a nonstop uphill battle.
So when you first had it on Shopify and it was approved, and of course you had your network that you leveraged so that they can use it and have a lot of word of mouth. Now, from that initial network, did the word of mouth grow and grow and grow? Because I know you have 750 users at the moment, but do you have like can you extrapolate how many users you think you'll get at the end of the year, per se?
Our goal is 2,500. I mean, and that's just a goal, but it's a realistic goal for sure. I mean, we could, like, I've been, scaling down ads because I feel like I don't want to grow too fast, because just like, even from like, if we want to raise money down the road, or if, looking to sell the business eventually, you want to have like somewhat steady growth. Like, usually the standard is like 20% month over month, which right now we're doing like 80% month over month. So we have to like realize that, like, okay, we don't need to grow this fast. And also, it's kind of better to be able to build features while we grow. You only get to make a first impression once. So if a store that was going to make $1 million a year with you downloads it and it doesn't have the feature it wants, and they uninstall it, they might never install it again. And if you waited 2 months to build out new features, and then they saw the app and then they installed it and it had that feature, that's $1 million a year in revenue lost right there. So we kind of want to take it slow, and we kind of want, we don't want to scale up ads too much or go too crazy with promoting it until we feel like we have the most bulletproof, best affiliate marketing platform for e-commerce that exists, periods, no questions.
So say, like, can you actually time how long the discount code could be on? So maybe 3 months, 4 months, after 5 months, the discount code won't work anymore.
No, I mean, once a discount code is created, it lives on. Yeah.
Oh, forever in the ecosystem?
Yeah.
Okay. Then I think
you could always delete the code or delete the affiliate account. Like within Social Snowball, you have the option, like when you're managing your affiliates, you could delete one if you think one is abusing it or using it for themselves or whatever. But I mean, when you create a discount code in Shopify, it just lives on.
Yeah. Now, what do you actually recommend for everyone? Because I love the fact or the idea of like a brand having a brand experience. And like I said, when you have a dropshipping product, and I might be wrong here, when you have a dropshipping product, and you open up the package, there might not be any brand experience, and you might like the product itself. But like I said, if you have an iPhone, the moment you open up the packaging and everything, it's shareable. And I think with the snow teeth whitening products too.
Yeah.
It's like the packaging is amazing. Like, do you really try to hone down and educate dropshippers or any entrepreneur in the e-commerce realm to really create a brand experience? Because if they do that, their content via Social Snowball can be a lot more shareable, and they can generate a lot more revenue.
I mean, right now we're not as focused on education. We're kind of just building the best affiliate marketing product we can.
Yeah.
That's definitely something we plan on expanding to down the road, is, providing educational stuff for our merchants to help them with affiliate marketing. Right now, we're kind of just trying to build the best affiliate marketing platform we can. We only have so much resources and so much money and so many developers right now. So there's only so much we could really do. But I mean, yeah, we definitely do have plans to create more educational content. Right now, we're just like very laser focused on building this product.
Yeah. So all your time is devoted to, so you don't do any more drop shipping. You just focus on the product the service.
Yeah.
As of this moment. So how does your day look like now?
It's a lot of communication. Like the main thing I do is communicate. There's, this is my first time really managing a real team. And I don't know if you could even hear the Slack messages that have been going on nonstop this entire time. There's a lot of communication that happens. So, there's a customer service team, there's content writers, and then there's the devs. And it's a lot of me communicating with them and making sure we're building what I want. And then the only other things I'm really doing is marketing. So I'm running Facebook ads, I'm making TikToks. I make TikToks for Social Snowball all the time. I pay other people to make TikToks for me. It's, just a lot of kind of doing whatever I need to do to grow us. Like as the founder, there's no job that isn't mine. So like it might be helping this customer service agent. It might be telling this dev what I, specifics about this feature. And then it's making a TikTok. It's like, I'm for sure all over the place, and no 2 days look exactly the same, but it's kind of just whatever needs to be done to grow Social Snowball and to make it better.
Yeah. So I think this is very important, because I don't think every e-commerce entrepreneur is going to create their own plugin, but I do think that as you start to scale, especially if you're a solopreneur, you're not going to be working by yourself all the time. So you're going to need a team. And you mentioned you use Slack, you have a team. So can you kind of give advice to any solopreneur who is looking to create a team? Like, what is needed to create a team, a culture, and be organized and have a schedule to be efficient?
So, I mean, the big thing for me with building a team, because I tried a few times and it didn't work until this time. And what I realized a few things. One is that an employee isn't doing tasks for you. Like you're not transferring tasks that you would have done to an employee. You're transferring accountability. It's a difference. Like I used to think like, oh, I have all these things I want to do. These are all these tasks. They're things that need to be completed. If I hired someone, I could give them those tasks and I would have less work on my plate, which is partially true. But with an employee, someone on your team, you're not just transferring them work and tasks, you're transferring them accountability. So they need to understand that they are accountable for a certain goal. This needs to be completed and they're accountable for it. It's not just they need to, write this and build this or do that. They need to know why they're doing it, and they need to be motivated for that goal. And that's the difference between accountability and just doing a task just for the sake of doing it. When they understand the accountability and they own that accountability, that's a real employee. And it took me a lot of incorrectly building a team for me to really learn that lesson.
Yeah. So you mentioned earlier that you're in New Jersey, you moved to Miami, now you're in LA. And so I'm pretty so you don't have an in-house team, I'm assuming? Everything's outsourced?
Everything's remote. Everything's remote.
Remote? Okay. And you manage all that through, I guess, Slack, like you were mentioning before too.
All the communication is in Slack. Yeah.
Okay. And just out of like curiosity, where do you prefer? Because people might argue, you know what, I prefer an in-house team because there's more accessibility, especially if we're under one roof, or if I
It's like
outsource
there's
something.
no such thing as in-house anymore. I feel like, I mean, everyone like this is the kind of business that you could do remote from day one, but now with COVID, like even businesses that were always, sitting in an office together, they're all remote. So I feel like the wave is remote. Everything is moving remote. As long as you have like structured communication, then you could handle remote. Like if you have scheduled stand-up calls and systems of communication for how different things are gonna be built out. Oh, that you run into this issue, you message that in this Slack channel, and then this person will help you with it because this is their area of expertise. As long as you like build out those kind of communication systems and a schedule, I don't see any reason why you couldn't do, at least for this type of business. I mean, every business is different, but a software as a service Shopify app, I don't see any reason why you can't do it remote. It
Yeah,
makes,
for sure.
it just seems like, and also hiring locally just limits who you can hire dramatically.
Yeah. I do think that now I got to be like very flexible, and I think you can find anyone you want nowadays in the world,
Definitely.
just to work with you. So if anyone wants to download Social Snowball, what are some, I know you're only 5 months in, but what are some cheat codes, some tips that you advise everyone to, of course, you can download it, install it, and set and forget it maybe, but are there other insights that you recommend to anyone to like after downloading it itself? Like,
Yeah. I mean, definitely. I would say be as generous as you can. Don't be too generous because you want to still make money, but be on the generous side with commissions because it's going to motivate people to actually share. If they realize that like they could actually make solid money, it's not like a $1 commission for every sale. They might be like, all right, like I'm actually gonna give this a shot. If I can make $20 on this sale, and obviously it depends. Everyone's product different. If you're selling a $20 product, you can't give a $20 commission, but if you're selling a $500 product, you probably could. So it obviously depends. So I would just say err on the slightly more generous side with commissions. Utilize our integrations. We have a Klaviyo integration. There's emails that we send to your customers automatically. If you have like a brand that is doing decent numbers, I would definitely suggest turning off the emails we send, integrating with Klaviyo, using the emails that we send because you could preview them, using them as like a rough draft, but changing them up to your own flow. You could also with Klaviyo have it send reminder emails after the customer received their product, and because once they receive their product, they're going to be way more excited about it. Maybe then they'll want to go share if they haven't already. So you could get really creative with our Klaviyo integration. If you don't use Klaviyo, we're going to build other mail service integrations, but for now we just have Klaviyo. So if you can utilize it, I would suggest utilizing it. And then our other integration right now that we have built is Veeam, which just makes payouts way easier. You could just integrate it. And then you could send payouts with just a couple clicks within Social Snowball. It just makes it way easier. And we're building more payout integrations as well. But the integrations we built them for a reason. They're going to make your life easier. They're going to make it convert better. So we recommend you use them.
Yeah. And you're just getting started only 5 months in. Now, so anyone who wants to download it, is it free or do they get charged a fee whenever someone else makes that sale for them?
So we give everyone a 10-day free trial. We're increasing it to 14 days now. But everyone gets a free trial. And the way pricing works, so we have 3 different plans, and they all consist of a flat fee and a percentage of revenue that we generate for you. So anytime there's affiliate sale was used a discount code that Social Snowball generated, we count that as like revenue we generated for you.
Mm-hmm.
So the starter plan starts at $12 a month. And with the $12 a month, we would take 15% of what we generate for you. Then the next plan up is $40 a month plus 10%, and then $75 a month plus 5%. So depending on the kind of volume you're doing, it would make fiscal sense to go with, one of the plans. If you're just starting out and you're only getting like, 20 sales a week or whatever, you probably want to do the lower tier plan because you're going to be paying a higher percentage of the revenue and a lower flat fee, but that would be saving you money because you're not doing that much revenue. So you're not going to do that much affiliate revenue. But if you're doing $300,000 a month, you're definitely going to want to be on the highest tier because I guarantee as soon as you install Social Snowball, you're going to start seeing a lot of sales come in from affiliates, and you don't want to pay a huge percentage of those sales because you're going to be getting so many. It'd make more sense for you to pay 5% on those, and then that $75 a month flat fee is going to feel like nothing.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, that makes perfect sense actually. So I know you mentioned that at the end of the year, your goal is to have 25 users. Now, what should we not expect, but what do you want to do, or what are your ambitions for the next, year or two with Social Snowball?
I want to build Social Snowball into the affiliate marketing platform for e-commerce, like undisputed. This is what you use. And I also want affiliate marketing to be a bigger channel for e-commerce, because I feel like it's a very slept on marketing channel right now. I feel like everyone, does everything. Everyone does Facebook ads. Everyone does even like upsells. Everyone does email marketing, abandoned carts. Pretty much everyone does SMS now. Affiliate marketing, I feel like, is a very underutilized but with huge potential marketing vertical. And I think a huge reason why not a lot of people use it is because there's no great solutions out there. So I want to build Social Snowball into that solution, which it already kind of is. And I want it to be known as that. And just, yeah, that's kind of the big vision with it.
Nah, I like that. I respect that, because like I said, again, creating that trifecta, a win-win scenario where you as the brand owner are getting, more eyeballs, more attention, a lot more customers. The person who bought the product can receive commission, and the person who gets that commission via the product, or the guy who was the brand ambassador for it, gets a discount code for it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
get the trifecta there. So anyone can find it on the Shopify app store, install it for their e-commerce Shopify store, and yeah. So Noah, massive pleasure having you on. And is there any other shout outs, anything that you want to mention that we haven't shared here yet?
Nothing I could think of yet, but I super appreciate you having me on.
Dope, man. Dope. So if people want to learn more about you and Social Snowball, where can they check that out?
I mean, for me, like, I always answer my DMs if you have questions for me. Even like Social Snowball related stuff, I always answer. My Instagram is Noatuck, Noatuck. And then for Social Snowball, you could just go to socialsnowball.io. That's our website, or you could look up Social Snowball on the App Store, on the Shopify App Store, if you're interested in using it.
Dope. Got it. So I'll include that in the show notes with your social links, with Social Snowball as well. Anyone can click on that and integrate into their shop. So Noah, again, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Dope.